Hi, I'm Selena, and today my speech is about why schools need to provide stronger mental health support for students, especially because school itself is one of the biggest causes of stress, anxiety, and burnout in young people today. To start, I want you to think about something you've probably heard at least once from a parent, relative, or older adult. You're young, you could deal with it. But what actually happens when they say that? Your experience gets overshadowed, your feelings get minimized, and suddenly you feel like you're being dramatic. Like you're not allowed to feel overwhelmed because someone's older once went through something worse. The reality is that young people today aren't weaker. We're simply living in a world with higher pressure, constant academic demands, financial stress, instability at home, and social media amplifying everything. Yet people still act like we should tough it out, and that mindset is hurting us. Schools must expand mental health resources because student stress, anxiety, and emotional overload are all at an all-time high, and many students who need help the most never ask for it. According to the Learning Policy Institute, roughly 60% of U.S. youth experienced a mental health symptom in just the last year, and over 30% of high school students reported persistent sadness or hopelessness. That's nearly 1 in 3 students. And this is not because kids are too sensitive. Psychologists like Dr. Elaine Aron explain that around 20% of people are highly sensitive persons, HSPs, meaning they are biologically wired to feel things more deeply, notice little things, and absorb emotional energy around them more intensely. So when adults dismiss students as too emotional, they're actually ignoring basic biology. Some students literally process stress more intensely, and instead of being supported, they're often shamed for it. And on top of that, financial stress makes everything worse. Students that come from lower income backgrounds face more pressure, more responsibilities at home, and less room to fail. For many students, school isn't just school, it's navigating work schedule, helping family, and managing adult responsibilities while being told to just focus on class. And let's be honest, school isn't always a supportive place. I'll speak from my own experience. I'm not someone who loves to share my feelings, so when I'm stressed, I hold it in. And there have been days where I show up to class late because of personal things going on, and instead of a professor checking in or asking if I'm okay, the first thing I hear is like nagging about lateness. It's not that expectations shouldn't exist, it's that emotional awareness should exist alongside them. Research shows that students perform better academically when they feel emotionally supported, teachers and advisors not punished for struggling. And yet, despite the overwhelming need, many schools still lack enough counselors, advisors, and safe spaces for students to process stress. And this is a problem because this is critical. Students who need help the most are often the ones who never ask. According to the CDC, academic pressure is the #1 reported stressor for teenagers. Not family, not friendships, school. This means more counselors and advisors, mandatory mental health check-ins, training professors to recognize emotional stress, clear systems for students to request support without feeling judged, and yes, encouraging students to step outside their comfort zone in healthy ways, like joining clubs, practicing communication, and learning coping strategies, but only when they have a safe emotional foundation. Growth is good, challenge is good, but you can't push students to grow if their stress is already overflowing. Support must come first, and then we can stretch comfort zones. Some people may argue that students are too sensitive and that providing more support will make them even more dependent, but the data says the opposite. Studies from the American Psychological Association show that students who receive mental health support develop stronger coping skills, higher resilience, and better performance than those who tough it out. Resilience doesn't come from suffering in silence. It comes from knowing you have support while learning how to manage challenges. So how many times have you heard adults say you're young, you'll get over it? Probably too many. But the truth is that students today are facing challenges older generations couldn't have imagined. Mental health struggles, financial pressure, academic overload, and emotional exhaustion. Schools can't ignore that anymore. We need more counselors, more emotional training for professors, more support systems, more empathy, and more understanding. Because students should not have to hit their breaking point just to be taken seriously. If school is going to continue being a major source of stress, then school has a responsibility to support the mental health of the students it serves. And until that becomes a priority, we will continue losing students to burnout, anxiety, and silence. My hope is that one day every student feels seen, heard, and supported, not dismissed with "you're young, you'll deal with it," but understood as a human being. Thank you.